Hey, my name is Jackie. Welcome to my journey with the gospel. I couldn't get my words out then. I'm going to try and quickly get through this story because I mentioned in part one that I thought I heard God's voice, which is a very interesting story. I will quote Philippians 4:6-7 again to you, which is to make your request to God known through praise, supplication, and obviously thanks. I didn't really know how to pray, to be honest with you, as you'll find out when I tell you this little story. I just thought it was okay to put your hands together and, pray to God and ask. But through obviously fellowship in the church and obviously attending church regularly, I found out that I was obviously praying wrong. It's not to say that I don't think my prayers were answered before, but I think now it's got more meaning. I know what to pray for, I know how to pray, and I'm doing it with thanks. I don't think before I was doing it with thanks at all. I was just asking and I thought I'll just get it. That doesn't work, I'm afraid. So I'm not going to say that every single time you pray it works, because I don't want any comments down there saying you got that one wrong. This is my journey and this is the way that I understand it, and it's different for everybody. So my journey with the gospel is this. I did pray to find out who my future husband was, and on the Sunday after church, I prayed that night, and I decided to pray and give thanks to God. And the next day at school, where I was teaching, there's a new kid on the block came into the staff room. Anyway, I thought this could be my future husband. He looks nice. But anyway, we got talking. I don't know how, but we did get talking. And he was a lovely guy. And I thought, I'm not sure if it's really him, but I do like him. And we liked each other, to be honest. But anyway, I was still with my boyfriend at the time, actually. And I'm an honest person. I went back and I spoke to him. I said, look, I'm not sure about us two getting married, so I have prayed on it. And I met this guy at school. Probably the wrong thing to do. But I thought honesty is the best policy, so that's why I told him. So he was surprisingly, he was upset, but surprisingly he was a little bit mature about it. I was a bit surprised. He did step up his game as a result. But anyway, cut that story short, I still wasn't sure. So the next day, that night, Monday night, I prayed again. And believe it or not, my boyfriend's name came up. And I thought, no, is that really God's voice? This can't be right. And I was just so shocked. I had to tell the leaders. So when I spoke to the leaders, they said, well, God does give you choice. So pray on it. So I decided to pray on it again. So, So I did pray again, and the next day, the school had an outing at a big church, and we were asked to go to the church to support, the school. Anyway, I was late as ever, and cut a very long story short, I got in, I couldn't see a seat. It was so packed, and I thought, it's my fault. I should have got here a lot earlier. Anyway, I saw a guy waving at the back, and it was this teacher. And I thought, the only space in the church was next to him. So I thought, I wonder if he's my future husband. That was what I was thinking of. Anyway, I went to the back of the church, and we sat down, chatted, had a laugh. And we did listen to the vicar. But it was kind of boring. So we carried on talking. But anyway, we carried on talking and making a lot of noise at the back. But we tried to be quiet, honestly, we were. And we tried to be respectful. So eventually we did calm down, and we spoke after church. And we were walking through the grounds. And I just thought, this could be the one. He's got a great job, he's a teacher. He's got his own house, his own car. Oh, this is it. Anyway, as we walked through the cemetery, it said something that I didn't like, and he said, many years ago, I bleep, bleep, bleep with this girl in the cemetery, and I thought, no, this is not the one for me. And we started talking about, Christianity, and he said that his sister had had converted, and she was a born-again Christian. And he said, although, he respects people's views, it wasn't his view. So I just thought, well, I can't really be with him because we're going to have a lot of problems. So, we did remain friends for the duration of my time there. I left there after about 3 months or so. We never got in contact with each other again, apart from a couple of texts about, music and that sort of thing. But that was it. So that was my journey with the gospel. And the point I'm trying to get to takes me a long time, I apologise. But when I read, I missed a bit here. I asked again because I just thought, obviously, he was not the one. I was about to go there and realise I missed the crucial part of this story. I've been fasting all day as well as doing my videos, so that's the reason why I'm not quite with the programme. But anyway, moving on very quickly. I prayed again that night because I thought, well, he's not going to be the one because after what he said, we're going to have a lot of, as I said, problems in that area. So I prayed again and I heard God's voice. And it was a soft voice, definitely male. And he simply said, read Peter. And I thought, what? Read Peter? Read Peter? And I thought, nah, that don't make no sense. But he never said it again, just said, read Peter. And the once. And I thought, okay. So I did read Peter. And I spoke to the leaders at church about what happened. And when I read Peter, I got it confirmed by the pastor that Peter was a very impatient person, very anxious. So that was me. I was totally anxious and I wanted to find out who my next husband was. I prayed, I found out who he was, but that was not going to be the case. So I'm glad I read Peter. I've read Peter about 3 times now and I see a lot of me in Peter. And reading about Peter in other scriptures was actually quite interesting. So I just want to say to all of you anxious people out there, read Peter and also read Philippians 4:6-7. I hope this true story of mine has helped you at all, and I hope you enjoyed it. And please subscribe to my channel. I've got loads more interesting stories. I want to really talk about spiritual warfare, something I never knew about until I got attacked by the enemy several times. So stay tuned, subscribe, hit the notification bell. See you soon.